Hi, everyone. My name is Dan Freeman. I'm the trauma director at Korean Roanoke Memorial Hospital. And I'd like to talk to you about my friend Mike McKenna, who is receiving the Healthcare Hero Award. I've known Mike since 2005 when I came to the emergency department, moved back home from New York. Mike was a pretty imposing character. He stood 6'4", military type haircut. And my first impression of Mike was that someone that would have been very stern. He was a charge nurse in the emergency department. And I'll never forget some of the first interactions that we had were actually opposite of what my first impressions were of Mike. He was, his voice was very loud and boisterous, and you could hear him talking all the way down the hall of the emergency department. But when you get to know him, it obviously, he was a caring, gentle giant, as he had often been called. He was certainly a caring individual, a great nurse, and a very good friend. He, some of the past experiences that Mike and I shared together as I moved up from a staff nurse to an educator to a unit director, along with Mike McKenna in 2007, 2008. We had many patient interactions together that were super positive. Mike, I recall one instance, Mike and I were caring for a young trauma patient, and that booming voice became softened, and he was the epitome of a caring and soft-spoken nurse that night, to put that patient at ease. And he was always calm under pressure, and a very gifted, caring individual. Mike's other attributes were many. Mike was a talented carpenter. He often enjoyed what they call overlanding, which is he would take his Toyota out across the country and go to the backwoods and run trails, and had a great time with that. Mike was super supportive of his staff. I can tell you that Mike touched the lives of so many people, not only the patients that he cared for through the years, but also the hundreds and hundreds of staff members that came through and worked in that emergency department, as well as other departments within the hospital. Mike had a way of connecting with people, and truly was able to communicate with just about anyone. He was friendly to any person that ever walked into the door, and he treated them all the same. It really didn't matter to Mike if you were the president of the company or you were a janitor. He's going to treat you with the same respect and joking manner that he did with everyone. He had a super sense of humor. Mike would often incorporate that sense of humor when caring for patients to ease the mood, put them at ease, and explained anything and everything he was doing or what they could expect during the stay in the emergency department, so they were better prepared for what they were about to go through. The thing that most people may or may not realize is when someone comes into the emergency department, it's often one of the worst days of their life. Whether it's a family member or a friend or themselves that have been injured or ill, that's often a memorable and maybe even a life-changing event for many, many people. And Mike just had a way of putting people at ease and care for them in such a way that just made them feel better about being in the situation that they were in. Mike certainly is deserving of this Hero Award. I can't think of anyone better to be the recipient of this award. Mike and I would often kid each other all the time, and many times we had lunch every single week without fail, and most of those lunches ended up with us laughing until the point where we cried because we had such a good time together. And Mike was certainly a man that will live in everyone's mind as he touched so many people. Again, not only as a nurse, but a friend, and caring person.